Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm going to use the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. There is a website for this one. It's Schiffer Books, I believe. I can't really read it from here. It's there, down here. So if you want to search out that information, the artist, or anything like that, there's that for you. Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reisch, is R-E-I-S-C-H. There is a website I found on the back here, hayhouse.com, Hayhouse.com. It's a deck from 2002, but I know Hay House is still around. I'm very confident with that. I don't know if that's still the website for them, though. So you might have to Google it or find a search engine to search that out if you're looking for that information. You know how they retire a lot of decks, so I don't even know if this deck is still available. I want to say somebody looked it up for me, and they were like, nah, you have to go into, like, you know, eBay or something, and then it's quite pricey. But, you know, they always retire decks. People always retire their decks. There's always new ones out there. Okay. What do we got going on here? Starting off, you have safe travel with the Eight of Coins and the Page of Swords, but they're all coming in a little weird. Like, they're all kind of, like, jacked up here. So I feel like things are moving forward. I feel like this is a situation that should be like a train. It has its rails and it goes where it's supposed to go. You're like, this is the track. The track goes where the track goes, right? That's how it should be. But it's kind of like I'm on this train and I keep coming into, like, these little switch hubs where it just kind of keeps changing direction, and sometimes I end up going back where I came from, and it's like, this should be going forward, this should be progressing, but it doesn't feel like it progresses the way I want it to. I keep putting in the effort, and it's like every now and then there's a setback, and I have to, like, try to figure out, how do I get this back online, how do I get this back going in the right direction. It takes a lot of concentration. It takes a lot of trying to look ahead, trying to get people to scout ahead, you know, kind of like, all right, somebody told me there's this switch up here, there's 5 different ways. Do we know where any of these ways goes? Can anybody search it out quick? Can we get that information so I can make a good decision about where we're going? But I feel like even then it's kind of like, well, this is the information we have. We don't know if it's true. Things could have changed. And it's kind of like I'm dealing with it. I'm continuing with it. Even if there's a setback, I'm like, all right, well, then we're going to have to find out how to make it go back the other way. I'm just going to have to find out what I need to do. You do seem to be succeeding, but I'm also getting, it's like you're succeeding against the odds. Like, I feel like a lot of other people would just not do well with this. I just feel like you got a lot of determination. You got destiny and judgment in your favor. So it keeps going forward. It keeps progressing, but it's kind of like, it's like a job that should take an hour is taking me 3 days. I feel like it's like that. Like, this should be an hour task and we should be over it, and it's taking me like 3 days. And most people would give up, kind of like it's not even worth it. But you're like, nope, I didn't start this to give up. I started this to make it happen, and it's gonna happen. That's a very Taurus feel, in my opinion. Kind of like, you know, this give up thing you talk about, I'm not doing that. That's fun for you, it's not for me. I'm not giving up. Why are we doing that sound? Like, why do I have that way? Like, I feel like the bankers from Mary Poppins, the first one. Like, it's just, this is how it is, and it's stable, and we do it because that's the way it's supposed to be done. I almost feel like you might have somebody, like, kind of picking at you too around you, because I'm like, why are we using that? But the situation, the thing is, I think this is why. I feel like people might be, like, teasing you or giving you a hard time, kind of like, well, Taurus, that should have taken an hour. It took you 3 days. You should have just gave up on it and done. You could have had a lot of other things done. And they're kind of picking at you like that. Like, you should have just walked away. You might have succeeded in the long run, but it took too long. It wasn't worth it, is what they're saying. Meanwhile, all these different ways you took, all these different things you figured out, you're going to remember that. You're now a point of interest in the sense of, like, now, because you saw that through to the end, you know what ways to go now. And you have information for other people. people aren't seeing this at first. Like, I feel like they're actually picking on you a little bit. Kind of like, ugh, Taurus, that should have taken an hour. You took 3 days to make it happen. What a waste of time. But in truth, it took you so long to do it, but you found out a lot of information. Oh, I know where that track goes now. I know where that goes now. I know what's over there now. I didn't know that was there, but I might need that later. You absorb. See, that's the thing with Taurus. It might have taken you a long time to make it happen, but you gained a lot of information. You remember it too, and you're like, maybe I can't use that information today, but there will be a time when I can. And if I can't use it, somebody who I know, or maybe somebody I can get in good with, I can give it to them, and then we're on good terms. I'm getting this actually is going to be a really good thing. But I do feel people picking on you about it. Because I was like, why are we using that rude? It seems so rude, but they're like, because that's how people are kind of treating you. Like, Taurus, you wasted your time. No, you didn't. Nope. Earth signs don't usually waste their time. That's not how it rolls. You're going to make use of this stuff later. Kind of like, I can't use all this now, but I'll save it for later, and that's what you're doing. You got authenticity with the Queen of Wands. This, I feel like... now, how is this actually going? Because I feel like somebody's coming forward with the truth. And when you solve this situation, it does change the landscape. Because now there's a plan, and now there's a way to do it. So now a task that's supposed to take 3 hours, not 3 days. But it's kind of like people were saying this should take 1 hour. In truth, it should take literally 3 hours. You found that out as well. This shouldn't be like an hour job. This should be a 3-hour job. And now that you've done this, you can tell other people, here's how you do it. And it will take you 3 hours, but you'll get it done. And it is worth it. And this is why. You seem to be teaching this to somebody else. I'm getting the Queen of Wands, like, you've done it. You don't really want to do it again, is what I'm getting. You don't really want to do it again. But you're teaching somebody else how to do it, and you're telling them, these are the pitfalls, this is what I learned. It's not an hour job doing it. Even correctly, it's not an hour job. It's a 3-hour job, and you're giving that to them. And they're like, okay. And you're helping them you're setting them up for success to get this done. It's creating a whole new structure to the situation. Something about what you figured out too, and be wary of the people like teasing you or picking on you about this whole situation. Because by figuring it out, even though people are saying you wasted your time, you're debunking something. I feel like there's other people who used that situation to their advantage, and now they can't. Like you've taken out some of the mystery from it, and now people who might have been manipulating it for their own needs, they can't do that anymore. You've taken that away by solving it the correct way once. Other people are now going to get in there and do what they need to do. You're taking out that variable. So people can't manipulate it for whatever they want anymore. And that can go left or right. But I'm getting like, the longer this goes, it's really becoming more and more beneficial. And I feel like the people who were like teasing you were more upset that you took away something from them. Because they were hoping they would still get away with something. But they can't now. Other people are aligning with you because of this. I almost feel like down the road, like at first you get kind of ridiculed for it. Later, that ridicule turns to like praise. Kind of like, we didn't think that was really smart taking 3 days to do that. But you were right, Taurus, because now it's changed our whole landscape. We could do a lot of things differently, a lot of things better. It made sense of like certain things that weren't going right. We didn't realize these were all interconnected. You solved a lot of problems for us. We just didn't see it at the time. Taurus is patient. You guys are Earth. You're patient. You're like, you know what? As long as at some point people realize, but then you're like, okay, you realize now, and let's remember that. Next time when I do something like this, don't give me a hard time. Realize, I have things. I know what I'm doing. I need that respect. It's kind of like I'm expecting that respect going forward now. All right, you gave me a hard time about that. Really wasn't a fan about that. But now that you see that I was right, I feel like you're going to say that to some people too. Like, remember that. You may not understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, but always remember that I have a plan. I don't waste my time. Always remember the Taurus does not waste their time. Remember that. And I feel like you're also going this step farther, and you might be pointing out some things that weren't right. On my 3-day trip, I learned this. I learned that that person was dumping that stuff over there and not ever coming back to it. I learned that this person was using that to their advantage and that wasn't right. I learned this and I learned that. Because I'm getting the Three of Swords with the Two of Coins, kind of like, you know what? We've gone pretty good on this, but I'm going to clean house. And I feel like you are cleaning house. It's not, I don't know, I don't feel like a negative energy with that. I just feel like this isn't right and we're going to clean it up. It's kind of like, you know, when you find out somebody has been stuffing all their stuff in a closet, like, you know, they haven't really been, you know, organizing things, they've just been pushing it into a closet. You know those closets where you open the door and it just kind of avalanches on you, like, oh Lord, like, oh, like like you found some of these things and you're like, listen, do you see this closet right here? And you open the door and it all comes out and you're like, we're gonna organize this, and the person who did it, they're gonna do the most work with it, because you're kind of like, I found these problems during my travels and we're gonna set these straight. You're not like pointing fingers as much as just saying this is gonna be fixed. You have a lot of energy, kind of like, now that I know this information, we're going to fix it correctly. The Three of Swords, I feel like for you, it's just kind of like that this closet shouldn't have been this mess. So that's the Three of Swords for you, like that should have never happened. For other people, you're calling them out, so that's the Three of Swords for them. But the Two of Pentacles is kind of like, we're moving on from this. We're taking that closet and we're going to organize it and we're going to throw some stuff out. We're going to put the garbage in the garbage. We're going to recycle what needs to be recycled. We're going to save what needs to be saved. And we're going to put it where it should be, not just let it be thrown in somewhere. People are bothered by this because you're cleaning house again. It's not negative though, but people are nervous because I feel like other people are getting real nervous, kind of like, oh, I have my own closet, and if the Taurus finds my closet, I'm going to be in trouble. So I feel like people are trying to like clean up their own closet quietly and slowly. You're going to find these other closets, though. I feel like by the time you find them, though, I think there's going to be some work on them, but not enough. So, because I'm getting this glamour, like, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not just going to do one closet in the house. I'm going to now check them all. I'm going to check the attic. I'm going to check the, you know, the places in the cellar that don't get looked out for. We're going to go outside. We're going to look in the little shed there, make sure that's organized. I feel like you're kind of like, you're going to go on the rampage. Like, I'm not just going to organize this one spot. We're organizing the whole damn thing because I'm over it. And we're going to do this right. You are changing the whole situation. I'm getting like this whole cleaning house, you're on the rampage in a sense, like, gone this far, might as well organize the whole thing, because once the whole thing's organized, this will be that much better. The farther you get, the less you're willing to back off with that. I know I keep using the word rampage, but I don't think it's bad. It's just basically kind of like, I'm not going to stop. We're going to organize this whole thing, but with a little added caveat, if you want, once it's organized, I'm also going to keep checking on this stuff to make sure it stays organized. And it's going to stay organized. This is the Five of Wands. God help anybody trying to get in your way, because you're not having it. I think that's why I keep using the word rampage. If somebody tries to just pacify you for the moment and walk away, you're not going to have that. You're going to be like, no, you get back here and you do what you're supposed to do. If somebody tries to stand against you and like, I'm not going to organize this, you're going to be like, well, yeah, you are. And you're not going to give up on that. Like, I'm not taking no for an answer is what I'm getting. Victory will come and wisdom. This is the best choice. Victory will come. Taurus doesn't, I just don't, like, once you start going towards something, the farther you get in, the less likely it is you're going to stop. So Taurus, I don't think of as somebody who gives up. I just don't feel that for Taurus. Like, once I get into something, you know, we're going to the end. And I feel like what they're saying, depending on where this reading hits for you, because I know, depending on who's watching, maybe you're in the beginning part, maybe in the middle part, maybe you're at the end part. I feel like they're just kind of trying to give you a heads up where this is going. You seem to have a lot more control at the end of this reading than you did at the beginning. no matter what your role is in the situation, it's going to go a lot better, and it's very much in your control at the end. I feel like it's very much in your control at the end. So even, for example, if this is a work situation and maybe you're just one of the worker bees, I'm getting like the person you work for or are connected to, they're going to leave this responsibility with you, and they're going to let this be your thing because you make things work out right. And I do feel like there's going to be benefit for you down the road from it, if that makes sense. Whatever this is, especially when I get this victory and wisdom together at once, this is going to create new opportunities for you later that you'll decide what you want from. Because I feel like I'm getting a trophy. I know there's a victory trophy there, but there's coffee in that trophy, which is interesting. I feel like you get to determine your payoff later. Whatever you feel fit, I feel like you get it. Although Taurus is very rational, so whatever you feel fit is literally probably what should happen anyway, so... Taurus is usually quite rational, so you're not asking for any more or any less than what you should have, so I think that's why, too. I feel like there's something here. I feel like they're going to get some unexpected benefit, but it's rational, and it's what you get to take this situation kind of like, you see how I fixed all that? See how I made that all go better? For that, I want this. And it's fair. And I feel like whoever you were asking for, you're like, I know you can give it to me, and I know you know I'm right, so give it to me. And I feel like they're like, yeah, you're right, I have no reason not to. Because, again, Taurus, very rational. You know what's available, you know what's not, and you know what's fair. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you'd like to see the donation information or option, all that information is below as well. Thank you very much, and you have a good day.